To start this recipe, you're going to need a big pot, some olive oil, 2 small onions or 1 medium large one, 2 pieces of celery, 2 carrots, and 6 cloves of garlic. So this recipe is going to be for a lot of soup. If you don't want a lot, if you don't want some for your freezer, just cut the recipe completely in half and you'll have enough for dinner and 1 or 2 lunches. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dice these all up nice and small. And then we're going to put them in the pot with some olive oil and saute them up. So you're going to saute that up for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, get prepared 2 containers of chicken broth. I use just the regular, not low sodium. If you want low sodium, that's your choice. So I have 2 of those ready. Also, 4 tablespoons of flour. You want to have that set aside and ready to go for right after they're done sauteing. You're also going to cut up really fine 2 large potatoes, 2 regular crowns of broccoli. Now I have 3 here because mine are pretty small, so about 2 regular sized ones is sufficient. Also, if you'd like, you can peel your potatoes. I keep the skin on just for extra nutrients, but it's a preference thing. If you do leave the skin on, just remember to cut the potatoes really small. Okay, so after about 10 minutes of sauteing them, you're just going to put in the flour now and stir it in there and let it cook for about 2 minutes. And then after that's done, we're going to add in all of our cut up potatoes and broccoli. And as soon as that's in, we're going to dump in all the chicken broth so that it doesn't burn. So after you've given that a really good stir, you're going to add in 2 cups of milk. And then you're going to turn the heat up and bring it to a boil. Once it starts to boil, you're just going to turn the heat down and let it simmer until the vegetables are really tender. Because you're going to blend it with a hand blender after this. So they need to be almost to the point of where you put your spoon in, it just slices it right off. Really nice and tender. Alright, once they're nice and tender, you're going to take your hand blender in and you're going to blend it up. Be careful because when it sprays, it hurts. I often go up and down just to kind of try to crush the broccoli. And then after all the big chunks, the obvious big chunks are gone, I just kind of sit and rotate it in the pot like that just to double check and make sure it's nice and smooth. So because this is supposed to be a smooth soup, not a chunky, you really want to take your time and make sure it's blended well. Okay, so when that is done, you can add in your cheese. Now, for some of you, this is going to scare you. It's 2 cups of cheese. I use cheddar cheese and sharp cheese. If you don't want to do that, don't. Or if you want to put it, only half in, that's fine. Or just skip it all together and then just top your soup off with it individually. But otherwise, just dump it in, no tricks in. And, just dump it in and then stir it up until it melts. Then you're going to taste it to see if you want to add any more salt and pepper. It's a personal preference if you do or not, so I'll leave that to you. But if you're not going to add the cheese, that's what you'll do now. Then when it's all done, you're just going to dish it up and put some more cheese on top.